Alrighty, there we go. Tens, what's up? Good morning, brother. Javier, what is up? Good morning, good morning. What are you looking at for today? Prophecy. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the stream. What am I looking at today when it comes to trading? I mean, right now I want to see a sweep of some liquidity on London session. London session had a bit of a consolidation, so nothing super crazy on London for me, as well as Asia was a bit of accumulation as well. So I want to see a sweep of one side and then pair it with the fractal change in state of delivery. So I want to just see some type of confirmation and liquidity being swept on some side prior to entering any trade position. So that's kind of what's on the books for me right now, since we didn't have any aggressive moves in Asia and London. So this week is a big news week as well. We have PMI coming in 28 minutes, and then we also have the Fed interest rate and Fed press conference. So some big things to pay attention to for this week, hence why I don't want to rush any trade setups today. Lawazi, what's up? Good morning. How are we doing? Rixie Fayez, good morning. How's the laptop doing? Actually, not on my current laptop. On a friend's laptop, and I'm picking it up at open, so gotta wait for it. Is volume low or just me? Volume is relatively low. I mean, that's why we had a pretty heavy accumulation during London and Asia, so nothing super crazy. Good morning there, everybody. Hope you're all doing splendid today. So yeah, right now I want to see some type of sweep and manipulation of one side of the range on London prior to taking any trades right now. If we don't have any sweep or accumulation, I will not be taking any trade. Mir, what is up? Good morning. What is up? Good morning. Also, kind of getting a little sick, so not super good, folks. We are a little bit in shambles, not gonna lie, but we'll push through. We will push through. Let me just get a little tweet up that we are live now. Harold, what's up, bro? Get one multi-monitor desktop. Honestly, could. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Maybe at some point. Loco Ben, good morning. How are we all doing this morning, though? How's everybody here doing? We all doing well? So yeah, I want to see sweep of this breaker, sweep of one side of London's range prior to taking any trades. Right now, I'm sitting back in the saddle until I have that confirmation. Correct. I do use T-Trade's fractal model, yes. What's up? What's up, Ole? So yeah, right now, not interested in taking any trades until we have confirmation of sweep, or also seeing this breaker. Want to see if this encroachment on this breaker gets met, fill some liquidity through this breaker, or fill some liquidity from London, one side of London's range. Those are the two big things that I'm watching for right now with this trade. Again, looks like we respected that equilibrium here, formed a very good bullish setup here, so anticipating a move up to this side now. There we go, moving into this breaker now. There we go. Tapping this breaker now. We are getting in there. Going for London high. Yep, I want to see a sweep of London high now until I enter any trade setup. Hope you do better soon. Yeah, I got a race this weekend, so hoping I recover quick, but not feeling too good today. At the moment also, we definitely do. That's a new 3-minute candle forming here. See what happens with this reaction to this breaker. Do you want to see a sweep of some session high or low? So if we see a sweep of this London session, that would be the most ideal situation for myself. Which time frame that breaker block is on? It's a 5-minute breaker. It is a 5-minute breaker. Going for London high, absolutely. Is this a 5-minute breaker? Yes, it is a 5-minute breaker block. Correct. Yes, yes, yes. Indeed it is. Nice move into this breaker here. See what happens. See if we actually respect it and get a rejection off that encroachment of that breaker, or if we're just going to fly right through it towards that London session high. This is a 5-minute breaker, correct? Morning though, everybody. Jeez, your boy is sick as a dog this morning. Not feeling too good today, guys. Whew. Breaker exactly is this bearish candlestick here. This bearish candlestick is this breaker. 5-minute breakers right here. We also had a 3-minute breaker as well. It's a 5-minute and a 3-minute breaker. It looks like we're getting a 3-minute rejection off this break right now. Right off that encroachment, you guys can see it here. Here we go, rejection off that breaker. Still want to see a sweep of some session high or low here prior to entering any positions. We just want to stay patient, guys. Once again, we want to see a sweep of one side of session paired with a change in state of delivery. This is previous 4-hour equilibrium as well, correct? Look at this. Let's remove that. That's from our last stream. This is that 4-hour equilibrium as well. So ideally, let's see what happens here right now. Just want to stay patient until we get something that forms. But if we just fill out this EQ, that's exactly where our EQ is right now. We're respecting the EQ. News in 20 minutes, absolutely. Do you look for shorts? I will be looking for shorts if we get a sweep of this previous London, or of this London high, this London session high. But until then, I will not be taking any trade setups quite yet. Yeah, if I get a setup, I'll be waiting for that news release in 20 minutes, most likely. Yes. It's a more important thing for me is to watch for news, because news, even if we have an A+ setup, can absolutely just stop me out of my trade, right? So that's the one thing I do want to be careful for right now, is just making sure that I don't get stopped out based off of, some bad entry due to news data just taking me and swiping me out. Matthew, what's up? Welcome back. Good seeing all the familiar faces back in here, guys. Hope we're all doing splendid this morning. Quite an aggressive rejection off this breaker. Remember, we anticipated this encroachment to get a rejection, and that actually worked like a charm. So, hey, we did the right thing, guys. We didn't take, but we know that there was a good entry opportunity off that breaker into those shorts. So, not bad. So right now, currently, that's still an invalidation for me. I don't have any setup that's forming with the fractal right now. Could look for a 1 minute, but not even a 1 minute change in state of delivery has been formed yet. But that is a sweep, but I still want to see a sweep of London session high or low. So if we do get a sweep of this London low, then I'll be looking for a change in state of delivery and a confirmation lower. A reversal into long. So there's a couple different setups that are forming here. Just gonna have to sit back in the saddle and see what happens, eh? 3 minute SMT at the highs. Yep. Right, that's a good confirmation and a rejection off that breaker as well, right? So not too shabby, guys. This definitely gave a short entry, but it just didn't form the fractal, which I trade the fractal, so I'm not interested in taking a position as long as the fractal model didn't form. So I'm going to see if we get a sweep, because looking like we're going to get a sweep of this London session low now, which would be ideal. So if we see this London session low, we either will get a 10 a.m. continuation after news, or we're going to get a reversal signature that forms with the fractal model having a change in state of delivery, and we'll see a retest back up to this London session high as well. So, right, Bitcoin 9 a.m. sweep, 5 entry, up 3R and printing, ridiculously clean K. Alicio, great work. Treating the chat as the journal, I love that. Good work. See right now, still no entry model, but we did get this short signature off of this breaker. We have news releasing in about 17 minutes, so we're going to wait a bit. We were being flexed on, absolutely. Do you watch the ES chart? I think there's setups after this week. Correct. I do watch the ES chart. Yes, I just forgot I don't have it up on stream. I had it up on my laptop, or not my laptop, but have it up on the computer. I forgot that I don't have it visible on the stream. Something I gotta remind myself. But, retest back into this breaker. Looks like we respected that 30-minute equilibrium here. We got a rejection closure below, but we now closed back above, and we are now retesting this breaker. So looking like this short setup is still looking feasible. We'll probably see a London and Asia session high sweep paired with that change state of delivery. It looks like this breaker's about to get invalidated. I've got a feeling. I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be. Alrighty. If you guys haven't already, feel free to like the stream kind of while we wait for the setup to form out here. We got 2 likes and 33 of us, guys. Should be like mandatory, eh? Hop in the stream, like it up, and we just fucking print some money, baby, you know? That should be the cash money. How do you determine which candle is the change in state of delivery? It's the one that forms a C2 swing or a new high or new low. Yo, hit that like. Yeah, baby. So you'll see, I'll showcase it, but like an example, like if we sweep this London session high, create a new high within this internal range move, the 3 candle body up closure that creates that new high prior to a bearish leg lower is going to be that SIST move. I'll point it out. Traxillas, what's up? Good morning. Good morning. Blessed to see another day. Blessed to see another day, brother. Into this breaker we go. Once again, back into this breaker block here. See if gold's giving us any setups. Gold not giving us any setups right now either. Pretty, not the cleanest P on gold. We did have a very aggressive long on gold, so not too shabby. Yeah, guys, I apologize again if the energy's not as high today. I'm sick as a dog this morning, not feeling too good, but just thought I'd at least hop on the live, support all the fam supporting me today, but really not feeling well today. So, hence why I'm even going to play even more patient in markets, just because I know that the mind and the body is not there today, so just want to make sure that I'm listening to my body as well. And, you know, if I don't take a trade today, guys, I think I'm just going to go right back to bed and go right to sleep, right? Just not feeling my best. But hey, let's at least get a nice little YouTube live going for all of you today. Hell yeah, baby. Waiting. Let's see what happens. If we get a closure above this encroachment on this breaker, I'm anticipating a sweep with that London session high. I'm a little tired too, yeah. See what happens here. We also have news releasing in 13 minutes once again, guys. Some medium impact folder news as well. So make sure we are staying wary of this PMI. We might get a pretty aggressive move at 10 o'clock as well. So if you guys are in trades, just make sure that you are aware that we have that news data. And for those of you that are not, I think that is a good factor to wait for prior to taking any entry. Let's just wait for that news to play out, eh? Respecting this equilibrium here. Looks like we have this 5-minute breaker as well. We have a 3-minute and a 5-minute breaker here. We do have SMT that is forming as well between NAS and ES. So I've got a couple things to watch for here, eh? There we go, move into this 5-minute breaker. That's almost a closure above this 3-minute breaker as well. Looking like this entry might get taken on the 3-minute. What are you expecting, bull or bear? I'm expecting a bearish move. I'd like to see a sweep of this London session high paired with a reversal signature, and we see New York continue lower. It's either that or we see a 10 a.m. continuation up towards around these highs here. See our way back to 20,200s. Also very feasible as well. But it's all going to determine, let's just determine this after news data. After news release, right? That's what we want to be most patient for. Why are you always tired? Damn. Not always tired. I'm sick. I'm sick right now, so that's why I'm tired today. I'm extra tired just because I'm sick. Also, for those of you that don't know, I'm PST. For those of you that know, I'm PST, so I gotta wake up bright and early at 6 o'clock every morning. And local, I also train triathlon, so I'm pretty tired, just like what Wally said in the chat. Had a There's once again a rejection off of this breaker on NQ. We have this news release in 9 minutes. Once again, we have a news release in 9 freaking minutes. So just gotta be patient there. Are you in California? Yes, sir. Javier, I am in California. I am based in California. Hello, trading is an isolating game. Hanging out in the stream lifts my spirit and makes my mornings better. Wishing you all the best. Alicia, I appreciate that comment. Thank you, boss. Glad it lifts the spirits. SMT at the highs too. What the hell? Just SMT on every side. Oh yeah, big time. All right, now we're about to have SMT at the lows again. Yep, SMT at the lows once again. Looks like this breaker is being respected on NASDAQ, yes. But Alicia, I really appreciate that comment. Once again, I'm happy it lifts the spirits. I know I'm not the highest energy right now, but hey, I appreciate that nonetheless. $19.66 into those. Honestly, with this news data, I might be anticipating shorts. This breaker is being held really well in this 3 minute and this 5 minute. So I honestly think this news release might pull us up temporarily back to this breaker and we'll get a rejection lower. Because we've gotten 2 pretty fat rejections off of that 3 minute breaker encroachment. That's sick, bro. I'm from the Bay Area. No way. Whereabouts from the Bay, Obi? I'm NorCal. Yeah, hence why sometimes, guys, training mixed in with all this gets pretty tiring. Gotta be up bright and early setting up the stream for all of you. Keep on waiting, waiting, waiting on the world to... No shot. I'm from the Bay too. No way, Wally. For those of you that don't know, Wally in chat's my best friend. We got 15-minute bullish to E2. Fremont Hayward. Oh, no way. Sick. Sick. That's awesome. Barrier gang. Yes, sir. That's awesome. Happy to hear that. If you guys haven't already, feel free to like the stream here. We are just waiting on the setup to form. We've got news data being released here in just under 6 minutes. 6 minutes till news data release here. So playing patient, guys. The most important thing. ES took London low. ES did take London low. ES has swept out this London low. All right, bang, swept. So if ES actually gives us this change in state of delivery, I might be entering on ES here. I got coffee, just wait for the setup. Back in 2 minutes, sounds good. ES sweeping it here. This technically does create a change in state of delivery. So if we get a 3 minute closure above this, this actually does confirm a change in state off of this. So this might be something to look for here, guys. YM is clearer than all of... See what happens here. If you get a closure above this, that's our change in state of delivery for this London sweep, and then I can anticipate a 2-to-1R. So you can throw in a long, like if we grab a closure here, 6-point stop on ES, targeting a 2-to-1 risk to reward, which is going to be almost at that London high actually. Let's see what happens with this 3 minute here. This is quite an aggressive closure. All right, back into this breaker we go. Favorite position? What do you mean favorite position? Like my favorite trade position? Give me some context, Wally. See what happens here. We also do have this news data release in 5 minutes here, right? So I'm not really interested in taking any positions until news data is released. You know what I mean? Sounds sussy. Sounds hella sussy. Wow, aggressive move here after that London sweep on ES. Damn, a little bit of a sneeze there. Well, we swept London. Jesus Christ, we definitely swept London. That's for sure. Oh my God, we're almost at 1R now off this sweep. Well, you see what happens there. We did get that sweep off ES, that's for sure. That is for sure. That is for sure. I am sneezing. Sorry, guys. Whew, we're back. There's that closure, right? Jesus. Right, if you were to take a trade, you'd be having to shoot all the way for this. Right, quite the aggressive stop, unless you wanted to put it just without change in state. Bless you. Oh, do you guys, I don't know if you guys heard that or not. That is a confirmed change in state of delivery on the fractal here. We did get a sweep of that previous 30-minute and that 1 minute as well. So that is a 3-minute change in state of delivery here with this closure back above now 2. So if you wanted to target, oh, that's a 4R, but if you wanted to target a 2R with your stop below, you'd just be targeting London session high. But I'm going to be targeting London session high if I was in this position, right? No, all good. All right. Just want to make sure. Right, all about trying to chase that 2R, guys. We're hungry for the 2R. Always for you're bullish. As of right now, I mean, on ES, we swept out London session low and paired it with a change in state delivery. So this would be a bullish setup. We do have that news data release in 2 minutes, though. So I am not in a position, once again. That is a closure above this breaker as well, so I'm anticipating NASDAQ and ES to now sweep this London session high, and we'll see what 10 a.m. does. If we get a 10 a.m. continuation higher or a 10 a.m. reversal. Decent trade, wanted the long on Q, but too risky with news. Yeah, news in 2 minutes. It is a risky one. It is a risky one, that is for sure. Yeah, we got that news data release in just under 1 minute 30 seconds here. So most important that we stay patient, wait for that news data to get released. Once again, for those of you that have TradingView, always make sure you check your folder news here. We've got 1 minute and 8 seconds till that news data. So very important. Monday, 10, 8, 20, 14. It's quite the economic day to day. Right. If you guys haven't already, by the way, feel free to like this stream. We got 48 of us. Howdy to all the new faces. Howdy to every single one of the new faces in here. I'm just going to delete this to make it less confusing for people. But yeah, we're just waiting for the setup right now. Yes, baby. Yes, it is. So funny saying that. Where do you have the news and TradingView? It's right here. If you follow my cursor here, go down here, click this, economic. So we've got news in about almost 10 seconds here. See what happens here, right? See, market's already starting to move pretty aggressively. Looks like we're going to have a pretty aggressive move for this first 3-minute candle. And 3, 2, 1, news data is released, right? Boom. There's a sweep of that London session high off of that news. This is exactly why you do not want to take that trade. Hey, that bullish setup did end up paying out that 2 to 1R, but there's that aggressive news off of 10 a.m. and you just let it play out, right? You don't want to be impatient and trade just because you want to trade, right? It's more important to just look at what we have going on in the market right now, right? And there's that change in state of delivery, which we had marked out before, right? Right here, change in state of delivery. So if you had taken that 1 minute closure above that change in state, that would have worked like a charm. My toes gripping the ground right now. Yeah, quite an aggressive bullish move here. Sometimes, Rixie. Sometimes. All right, well, that's kind of the news data. Not expecting any crazy movement now. Seeing if we get, well, we have a larger NASDAQ as well forming that. We have this change in state here that formed as well with a closure above. So we've got multiple sistes, but see that high to entry actually, or that sweep of that London session low on ES ended up being a very valid short position. We also did sweep this previous 30-minute candle, which formed a C2, which made this bearish 3-minute also another change in state. So we've got multiple change in state of deliveries on multiple time frames, which aligns this setup very well with the T-Trades fractal model, right? So this actually did validate the setup quite well. Even with this 10 a.m. news, I wouldn't recommend ever entering before news data. That's an easy way to get stopped out of a position you might even be super confident on, but regardless, you see the sort of formation here. We did get that sweep. Then we also swept the London session low here, and now it's creating a beautiful new London session high with this trade now. Would have been a 3.42R, right? But let's see what happens now on NQ and ES. We did form this SIST, so see if we hit this -2 to -2.5 standard deviation. Because ES, in my opinion, formed a much better change in state of delivery. The reason being, too, the stop is a lot less aggressive, right? The stop for this would be at the base of this candle wick or the candle body. Depends on what you're more confident doing, either a 7-point stop or a 10.5-point stop. But as you guys saw, I had it just below that change in state of delivery, would have done here, which would have done a 2.4R on that trade. Right, so it's really how you play and maximize this setup. And for this setup here, we swept London session low, paired it with a change in state of delivery, which is what I was saying at the start of the stream there, right? That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see price sweep some type of session high or low. And in this case, it was the London low. And then it was paired with a change in state of delivery, right? Does that make sense, everybody? Now I'm anticipating a -2R to hit. ES already swept that standard deviation -4.5. So now I kind of want to wait and see what happens if we get some type of rejection or a formation, but that is what is happening right now. ES London low was swept at that 952. That previous London session low was formed, or yeah, it was. Yeah, that London session low was swept on London, or at least tagged. Yeah. Wow, it was an exact sweep of 56.55. Same price, you're right. Still did sweep the liquidity at those lows, though. It wasn't a full sweep, so we could anticipate bearish volume then back down, which is what we're seeing now in this 1 minute, right? Yeah, it is equal lows. You're right. Sweep those equal lows. See, now we are seeing quite the aggressive move off of this -2.5 standard deviation, with NASDAQ also getting a pullback into this range. Let's see what happens here, folks. Because this also now formed a sweep of that previous high here. Sweep of this previous C2 on this 15-minute, or if we look at this 3-minute, right? So this would be a very wide change in state of delivery unless we use this 1 minute. Could also use this SIST here back into these shorts, into this re-add zone. So this is interesting PA. Damn to the tick. Yeah, literally swept to the tick. Like to the exact tick, 2.25, which was the previous London session low. Here, let's see what happens if we respect this previous 15-minute equilibrium here. Just peeping this 1 minute right now. It's at 2.3 here. Right, just want to play it patient. No reason to be rushing on any of these trades right now, folks. Once again, we had that news data release, so this is more reasons why we need to just really ensure that we are staying patient here. There's a retest to that break-even entry, actually getting rejection back above. But let's see whether or not we get if we respect this equilibrium, or if we sweep this EQ and continue higher, or if we get a closure below this change in state of delivery on the 1 minute and deliver back to those London lows and officially sweep those London lows. All right, there's a couple different things, guys. Because here as well, we have this 4 hour, this is a 4 hour equilibrium right here at this black line as well. So looks like no closure yet below this 60, but could get it very soon here. Just for the sake of visuals, I'm going to delete this really quick. That was that original bullish 60. But if we wanted to now see potentially sweep of those London lows again, we could tag out this here as a bearish change in state of delivery. If we get a closure below this, we can anticipate a sweep of those London lows incoming, right? Because we didn't actually get a full sweep of those London lows, and I was hoping to get that. So do that and put our stop up at that high, targeting London low, and then potentially a 2-to-1R, right? Because we swept a previous high here, pair it with a entry signature, which would be this. So let's see what happens at this EQ here. Looks like we got a closure below this EQ, forming a new entry here. So if you were to enter here, could watch for a retest. This would be another short signature here. News data is done. Right, so you could wait for pullback there, get entry somewhere on this pullback. And that would target, see if we retest this change in state. Retest that change in state, enter at that 60. See, I'm not in any trades. I want to see a sweep to the long, got that daily return. Thanks, man. Akash, anytime, boss. Anytime. Right, let's say we put that stop at that London session high. That's targeting a 2.2R. I'll even move this down here, down to 56.44. Let's see what happens here. Respected that EQ, also respected that 4-hour EQ on NQ's 4-hour EQ and ES's 4-hour EQ are both respected as well. So just wait it out, baby. Short position here. We have bullish 3-minute SIST. Yep, that's what we were looking at before, remember? Yeah, which creates this would be your stop zone here. So this is why this is just a retest into this EQ before we see a continuation higher. And SMT, yep. Right. I'm not in any trades, by the way, guys. For those of you wondering right now. Today might just end up being a slower day for me, and that's honestly completely fine by me, right? The one setup I was a very big fan of was this 3-minute bearish, this 3-minute bullish SIST that we formed above this breaker, closure above. EQ is a re-add zone into these longs, and now we can anticipate that NASDAQ is going to move towards that. ES, in my opinion, gave the cleanest setup for this position. It's a much shorter stop as well, less risk to manage. Hence why I was more of a fan of this long setup here. We just had a very aggressive closure above this 3-minute SIST. So it does entail a longer stop zone unless you did use this 1 minute, which is what I was talking about here. This 2 candle body down closure here did create a 1 minute change in state, which I would be more interested in for this bullish SIST on that entry, right? Because then a long position like this would just look like this closure above here, grabbing that closure, putting your stop at that C2, and then targeting a 2-to-1R. So you would still very much so be in this trade if you were taking the fractal model change in state delivery. I always have the same setup, but I lack the confidence. I started your stream and saw the same perspective from you, took the long. What have you noticed about the 10 a.m. candle when it consolidates? What have I noticed about the 10 a.m. candle when it consolidates? That's a great question. Honestly, I look at previous ranges. So if Asia session and London session are accumulating, then you can anticipate that New York is going to sweep one side of the range and get a continuation, or because most of the time you won't see, it's rare that you see a consolidation on New York unless Asia and London have already had more aggressive moves. But if both those sessions like today had more of a consolidation accumulation phase, you can anticipate that some whatever you're trading, so if it's in an index or commodity, is going to have a more aggressive move after sweeping one side of the range. So if I see 10 a.m. consolidate, then I'm not interested in taking any trades, but it's rare that I do see that be the case. Yeah, but 10 a.m. consolidation is just a crucial reason as to why you shouldn't be entering a trade if you are in a trade. Or what I want to see is if that 10 a.m. forms, I want to see a sweep of that 10 a.m. higher low on the 11 o'clock candle. But typically I like to trade from that 9 o'clock until 10:30 range. So if I don't see a setup form within then, I just like to wait for the PM session most of the time. Also, if you guys haven't already, we have 51 of us here and about 14 likes on the stream. So if you haven't already, like the stream if you do enjoy what we are producing in terms of content. Helps me out a lot. So if you guys haven't already, feel free to hit the like button. Helps me out a lot on the stream here. Lets me know that y'all liking what I'm doing over here. So if you haven't already, feel free to do that. And one question, when T-Trade says you have to wait for the wick to form, what time frame does it normally form? Like if we talk about 4 hour, would it form within the first hour? The wick typically, if you think about a 4 o'clock candle, typically within the first hour or two, you want to see the wick form prior to a closure. And if you're looking, if you want a bearish wick to form and then a bearish candle body closure for reversal signature, you want that wick to form at the start. So create this bullish wick and then bearish confirmation. So yeah, typically the wick starts on a 4-hour candle would be like the first 2 hours. For a 30-minute candle would be the first 10-15 minutes. For a 15-minute candle would be the first 5-10 minutes, etc. Right? It's just anticipating getting a wick to then have the candle body closure, which sort of tells more of the story of a candlestick. And that's more important. Gold here looks like we're getting quite the consolidation here on gold. Bit of accumulation here after having a retest and a very aggressive bullish move here on gold. So not interested here as well. 10 a.m. absolutely swept 33.28 on gold here. But yeah, today might just be a no trade AM session for me, and I'll just move into a nice New York PM session. Right, so, and that's okay, because I came on a stream, I knew that I wasn't feeling as good today, so if that's the case, that's the case, and that's just going to be the reality today. I'm never really looking to force any trade entries, especially if I'm not confident in a given entry, so. But yeah, how are we all doing today, though? How's everybody in the stream doing? How to get free access to your Discord? There is a free access portion. You can join the Discord, and there's the free chat and everything. So you're welcome to absolutely just hop in there and chat in there. I respond to free chats all the time, and then I do some occasional free live streams. So hop on in there, and there's your free access. Great. Happy to hear it, Traxilus. Happy to hear it. So let's see what happens here. We had that 3-minute SIST and that 1-minute SIST form here, and that didn't get quite a 2R. Depends on the risk that you were managing, but you could put your risk here, and then you'd have a 2.63R rather than just a 2R, right? So if you wanted that 2R to play out, that 2R would have actually played out perfectly. If you had that stop exactly like the fractal model says at the base of a change in state delivery, that 2R would have played out perfectly already. I would be your best student. Hey, I'm happy to hear that. Absolutely, brother. Happy to hear it. Wow, there we go. There's a short signature now, like what I was talking about before. We had a sweep of that previous candle body high. So now this long already played out on that 2R. So this bearish change in state of delivery is now giving us a delivery with a Riyadh zone at that equilibrium from that 15-minute alignment. Hey, Alicio, great job. Have a good one, boss. Have a good one. Happy to hear it, Alicio. Happy I was able to help. All good. Thank you. Thanks for your great help. Keep streaming. Be your best student. What's the link for the Discord? Yeah, let me get it for you guys. Eh? Should be in the description of the live, but let me see if this link works for you guys as well. Let me know if this link works. So there's that short entry signature as well. Closure below this change in state of delivery confirms a short position into this trade here. This is the 1 minute. So once again, this closure was a very aggressive closure below, which means you are managing a very large and wide stop, right? It's a 10 point, almost it's a 10 point stop if you were to, which is a lot on ES, right? So that's what you want to be very careful for. It's a 10.25 stop. Hey, Alicio, good job. 5.5 RD done for the day. Hey, we will take that any day. Good job, sir. CL probably played out well. Yeah, CL definitely played out well. Sweet. We'll take that. Some nice discount PD right here. Breaker. Closure below that breaker. That's continuation lower. Definitely going to see 56 on CL. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Right, guys, once again, if we don't take a trade during this AM, I'm honestly completely fine with that. I am not always needing a trade. The link worked. Happy to hear it. Sweet. Well, yeah, there's the link to the Discord then, folks. See a couple of you just joined up here. Happy to see it. Happy to see it. I'm Vishra in the Discord. Sweet. I will try and remember that. Bit of an accumulation here. Not really what I want to see for PA, right? It's long formed out here, which would still validate this long, even though that minus 4.5 stayed out. We formed a 1 minute SIST, but as you guys know, I'm not as big of a fan of 1 minute change in states of delivery, and typically like to look for an entry in the 3 minute or the 5 minute, since it validates setups a lot more, in my opinion. And ES here, as we see, does have a lot more, just a much better move. Do free giveaway. Maybe eventually I'll do that. I'll give away a free month of premium to somebody at some point. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Maybe I'll do that. Got some 4 new members in the server here. Hell yeah, we'll take that. Pull back up to these highs here. See what happens. Correct, Taro. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So looking like a relatively slower day for me today. Honestly, might hop back on in the PM session and just lead the AM session to make a move by itself. Not super interested right now in any major position. Just kind of want to let today's market do its thing. Choose a direction right now, right? We had this ES long, which was the one that was my top watch with that sweep of that London session low, right? Hopped on the stream. One of the first things I said I was watching for was to see a sweep of that London session low paired with a change in state of delivery and a confirmation back to a London session high. And here we see ES did exactly that. We swept these London session lows, paired it with a change of state delivery off of this candle 2, and then created a continuation higher here. So honestly, a very, very good setup on ES had formed out there. Right, so honestly not interested in too much else right now. Kind of just want to play it patient, eh? No reason for me to force any trade entries. There we go. Honestly, nothing super interesting here, right? This isn't really good PA after we form that long on ES. So right now it's just looking like we'll probably get a slow continuation high right now. Good morning, Vietnam. Oh my gosh. Zicky, what's up? Beautiful long this morning. Yeah, right off of that London session low sweep paired with that 3-minute SIST. That was a pretty solid trade. That was a pretty solid trade, eh? Not too shabby. Tip of the cap this morning, sir. Tip of the cap. Hour 4 has my interest for possible playing a short. It was 61. Yeah, I was interested in shorts this morning with this London session. I just want to see London session sweep higher low paired with the SIST. So I was bullish, but I'm still honestly relatively bearish right now. I'm not getting anything that's giving me any bullish confirmation, especially on the 4-hour here. There's not really much that's giving me a long entry signature. Samies. This 1 hour here as well. Asia, London, bit of an accumulation. London manipulated those Asia session lows. New York is now creating a continuation higher. So we manipulated, right? Manipulation and distribution higher now in New York, which is one of those things that I'm watching for. There's a break below that premium PD array, the discount PD array now, and now we are getting a continuation lower on CL. A couple different things to look. See what happens here, right? I do smell some shorts setting up here. Not too much interest right now on these trades. Yes, already played out that position. NASDAQ, I just don't think is going to hit that -2, -2.5 R before we have another setup form, right? So I'm not super interested in that right now. Keep on waiting. So yeah, guys, just a more patient day today, and that's honestly great, right? Can't complain. We're protecting the capital. That's the most important thing for myself. As long as we're protecting capital, I'm a happy camper. As long as we are protecting capital, I am a happy camper. Looks like we are bearish now. I mean, yeah, it's looking relatively bearish here. We are still kind of accumulating, though. There's not any major, I mean, we manipulated the highs on London now, but still not. This is quite an aggressive accumulation. So I want to see some type of confirmation into shorts. We did sweep those 4-hour highs. That's what I was just talking about before. Absolutely. 4-hour highs have been swept, right? That is something we are interested in, correct? Gosh, dude, I'm sniffling and everything today. I am not feeling my sharpest. Apologies once again, everybody. But hey, part of the game. Happens, it happens. Five minute, 15 minute, yeah, 15 minutes. So, I mean, technically bearish, but also look at the indecision on that. We did sweep those highs, but still, look at the indecision on that candle body closure. If we got a bearish closure in this breaker, I would have been more inclined into a short position, but that's still quite a indecisive 15-minute closure. So, versus if we look at ES here, look at ES on this 15. ES is showcasing. I mean, yeah, there's some SMT there, first of all, but yeah, I don't know. That's not really something I'm very interested in right now, to be so honest with you guys. It might just be a no trade morning for ya boy. Can we do a session of back? I will do another stream with some back testing. I'll definitely do another stream with some session back testing. Absolutely. I won't do some back testing on this stream because I want to separate my live trading streams from my back testing, but I'll host the back testing session sometime this week, probably in the Discord or maybe on YouTube. Emphasis on maybe on YouTube. I do want to prioritize the premium. There we go. Now we're heading back into this EQ here. Pulling lower now here, that 15-minute now showcasing. See, if we get a closure, this 15-minute closes, I will be more bearish, right? Because this will give me more of a reversal signature than that previous 15-minute. So if this 15 closes with a nice body here, I will be interested in those shorts. Because that is a much better confirmation into that trade. Plus, we did form a change in state of delivery at that C2 here, right here, on NASDAQ and ES. All right, ES is giving me less of a reason to, but this 15-minute here on NQ is giving me more of a reason to enter into these shorts. But wow, talk about SMT. Holy shit. Sweep sell model, correct, Obi. Correct. But yeah, honestly, this just isn't the PA I like to take trades off of, guys. Like, I might just call it, please on YouTube only one time. We need to see the processing people like me. Yeah, we'll see, Akash. I mean, would love to do it, but once again, I do want to prioritize the people in the server that are paying for the education, right? But I will think about it for sure. I will definitely think about it. I will absolutely think about it for you, boss. For the people. Yeah, don't skip YouTube. Love watching these streams. Hey, I'm very happy to hear that. Super happy to hear that. Hey, that's what I'm here for, right? I enjoy doing it. I really enjoy doing it for you guys. I love streaming in front of all of you and just being able to provide education and content. I'm happy to hear that prophecy. Right? That's what makes me happy. I like to really provide as much of too late for, what did we say? Too late for CL shorts. Honestly, I would say so. CL, it's already in this discount PD array. We could see in anticipation move lower towards 56.51, but honestly, it's a little late for the CL shorts in my opinion, Zoro. A little late. I'm gonna be completely honest with you there, mate. See, we did have this short entry signature on NASDAQ here at this 3-minute change in state of delivery. So this is still a valid short technically, right? This is what I was pointing out before. Closure below here. Stop at that high. You can even just do the candle body high and target a 2 to 1 R, which is just below this London session low, right? And just see how that plays out. That would be more of a valid setup for sure, especially because now we're respecting the EQ of those previous candlesticks. But, I mean, pretty conflicting results here if we look at that, right? If you guys haven't already, by the way, feel free to like the stream, folks. We got 21 likes and 51 of us. Let's get a 30 likes on the stream. That'd help out the channel quite a lot here. So really appreciate all the support. Really, really appreciate it. Also, for those of you folks on stream right now, we do have a YouTube video getting released today. I believe, thanks for the stream, Jess, absolutely. Absolutely, loving this, happy to hear it. For those of you curious as well, I actually have a pretty fun YouTube video getting released today. Let me actually get for the video that is being released today, it will be it's scheduled to be released at 10 a.m. So 10 a.m. PST, so 1 p.m. EST, and this YouTube video is going to be covering a gold shorts recap that I took utilizing the fractal model. But unlike my other videos where it's a perfect 2R trade, this trade did not play out a perfect 2R, and I talk about the process as to why it didn't play out a perfect 2R, right? As I've mentioned before, the fractal model is not a perfect 100% win rate. It is almost impossible to find a model that is 100% win rate. So the reason why I went through this video was just to showcase you guys the importance of these type of trades, right? Why did this trade not play out? What was the reason behind it, right? Things like that. So I talk a little bit about that process on the stream. So just stay tuned for that. So it's a pretty cool video. I sort of talk about the entire entry model from my higher time frame alignment into my smaller time frame entry model. And then I talk about, why did the trade not work out? Why did it not play out the full 2R? Where did I take my trims, etc. So for those of you that enjoy these type of streams, set your alarms for that 1 p.m. EST or that 10 a.m. PST, and definitely like the video. If you guys also enjoy the videos, feel free to just shoot a comment. Say, hey, Leo, I really like the video that you made today, or hey Leo this, hey Leo that, right? It helps me out a ton when you guys just are sharing these videos, liking, commenting. Commenting pushes me more on the algorithm as well, which helps out ya boy quite a bit. So if you guys haven't already, once again, feel free to do that. Really helps out the stream quite a bit. So would love to just get that from you guys as well. Do you prefer closure below the wick or body for Systy? For me, it's the body for Systy. I don't prefer the wick as much. Do you use macro? Yes. Arun, I like closure below the candle body, not the candle wick as much. Candle body closure. Yeah, guys, so looking like I'll probably just see what happens with these shorts here, see if we sweep this London session low, maybe hit this Riyadh zone. But right now, this is kind of the only setup that's interesting me, was either those ES longs or now these NASDAQ shorts here off of this 3-minute change of state of delivery. But other than that, not super interested in a lot of other setups, just going to be back in the saddle and see how it plays out, eh? So let's see here, back at this Riyadh zone from this 30-minute equilibrium here. If we respect this 30-minute equilibrium and get a closure, we can anticipate that we're going to get a move lower, right? Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. Major SMT between NASDAQ and ES as well at these highs. Right, that's another reason I'm getting more validated for these short positions. Respecting 4-hour EQ, maybe we get a continuation. Yeah, it's seeming like it now, right? That 4-hour EQ is getting quite respected. But we are also seeing major displacement in SMT at these highs, which is giving me some type of confirmation into these NASDAQ shorts for this 2R. We'll see. We will see. Respecting that 30-minute EQ now. see this higher time frame. CL here rejecting off that discount PD array. We've got this 4 hour, which is giving me, yeah, I mean, nothing super crazy, but yeah, honestly, not really interested. These shorts would be the only thing I want to see play out. If we respect this EQ, I want to see these shorts play out. If not, I'm not interested in any other trades for today, guys. And then I'll probably just call it a day. Call it a beautiful day, and so be it, you know? That'll be the reality. So yeah, just waiting here now, guys. Honestly, let's get the stream to 30 likes though. We're at 24. We just need 6 more beautiful people to like the stream for today, and we'll have great end to the AM session. Probably we'll hop on PM session, take a trade on PM, right? At this point, that's what it's looking like for myself. PM session seems a lot more intriguing for me right now since AM is not giving me. We had that one setup on those ES longs, and now these NASDAQ shorts aren't too bad, but still not anything super crazy right now. So new 3-minute candle formation here. We did get a closure back above that 30-minute EQ, and if we do just look at this candle wick too, this is giving me quite the bullish candle body signature here. If we get a closure, we could actually see continuation higher in validation of those shorts. And so be it. That's the reality, guys. That would just be the reality today, and then PM session it is. So be it, right? Can't be mad about it. See what happens on this 3-minute here. There we go, back into that 30-minute EQ. Might just be, I like to trade from the 9 to 10:30 window. If I don't get a trade set up that forms then I'm not really interested in trading. And I'll just trade PM session most of the time. I take T-Trade's advice. If the market does not make sense to me, don't put on risk. And Q didn't make sense to me today. Exactly. So then there's no reason to take it. And CL worked out for you beautifully, right? So in the end, it worked out for you, but it's just no reason to force any trade setup. That doesn't make you confident, right? That doesn't give you, you should not be risking anything on your trade until you are confident of a given trade. So I completely understand. Right, because that's the most important thing in the end is, do you have the confidence in those trades? Is this a setup that gives you confirmation? Alrighty, guys. I think this is just going to be calling it on the stream. We have 29 likes. Let's get one more like before I end off the stream here. Good little AM session, hour and a half stream for you guys. Alrighty, folks, I think that's just going to be the end of the stream for me today. Honestly, we got a pretty decent AM session. Not the craziest, though, so I'll probably be hopping back on YouTube Live for some PM, potentially. But honestly, I didn't get a lot of interest in any positions for this morning, so just don't want to be forcing any setups. So I think that's just going to conclude the stream for today. Once again, I'm going to be putting the Discord invite into the chat right now. So if you guys are interested in joining the Discord, getting more involved with this type of trading, or just want to see me do some YouTube lives and some other streams, feel free to check out the Discord. I just put the link in chat. And if you did enjoy, feel free to like the stream, subscribe if you haven't already. I know we do have quite a few new faces in here for today. So if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe and like the content for more videos like this. Join the Discord if you are interested in some more content like this as well, and I will catch you all in the very next stream. But other than that, I hope you all have an amazing rest of your AM sessions. Remember, manage your risk. Managing your capital is a position as well. Being in a trade does not always need to be the case. Once again, managing your capital and protecting your capital is a position as well. So have a great rest of your Monday mornings. And for those of you, Larry still holding? No, sir, Mahadi. So yeah, guys, if you guys did enjoy the stream for today, we'll catch you all in the very next one. And other than that, catch you all in the Discord. Have a great rest of your days. And I will see you all in the very next stream. See you guys on Wednesday at 6:30 a.m. PST or 9:30 a.m. EST. Have a great one, everybody. Hero, peace. See you soon, Prophecy. Everybody, have a great one. Bye now.